Everyone, we are the Gratitude Girls.
The gratitude girls are in the house. Hi, Laurie. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am great and admiring all the beautiful summer colors that you have on. I'm in the required black, 50 shades of black tonight with a little bit of tan, but I love what you're wearing. It really is so bright and so cheery. As soon as I saw you, I thought, I'm going to go find some color for next week. So thank you for that. I'm so glad that we are together and I'm so glad that everybody's joining us. I'll announce who I am if you're joining in for the first time tonight. Welcome. We're so happy that you're here. And if you are a regular client, customer, friend, thank you for showing up. It gives us a great reason to be here as well. My name is Kathryn Asaro Mayers, affectionately known as RaRa, and I'm broadcasting to you live tonight from beautiful Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I'm here with my amazing Gratitude Girls partner.
And I am Laurie Delk Radecki. I am outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
So, Laurie, we have a great new series tonight. I'll let you land with it.
All right, yes. Yes, we're both so excited. I think it is going to literally speak to every single one of us. And it is called The Comparison is the Thief of Gratitude. I want you to think about that. Have you ever looked at someone else's life and thought, "Oh, I wish I had what she has. I wish my business was growing like hers. I wish my marriage looked like theirs. I wish I was further along in my business." Like, if we're honest, probably all of us have done it, right? If you think about it, and so we're going to talk about why that comparison quietly steals something incredibly valuable. And because that's our gratitude.
It's a trap, Lori. It's the trap of comparison. Let's call it the comparison trap. Like, one thing I've learned is that comparison usually begins innocently. Maybe we're scrolling a social media platform. We can name all of the platforms to give them some free advertisement, but maybe you're scrolling on gratitudegirls.com and we're looking at something, or perhaps you're looking at something that we did, and we're looking at curated information. Curated means it is placed there. I should get a Merriam-Webster's dictionary for this. It's placed there for the purpose of creating an image. So if you're watching someone else's success that is curated on social media, remember right there where it's coming from and the source. And before you know it, instead of celebrating them, you might start questioning yourself.
Right, exactly. And, you know, have you ever done that? I mean, I know that we've had situations or something that we're where we know that people will say that, but then that's not your you can't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 30, right? Like, we are not in our 20s anymore. We'll just leave it at that, right? So in our 20s, we were trying a lot harder to get to the next levels of different things. Granted, we didn't have any of the social media back then either. So, but think about that. When you look at those things and you start that comparison, nothing in your own life changed at all. Like, your family didn't suddenly become worse, or your blessings didn't disappear. God didn't take anything away from you. The only thing that changed was your focus. And that's exactly what comparison does. It shifts our eyes away from everything that God's already given us.
Social media is not the whole story. Like, something we all need to remember is this: people, bots, AI, whoever posts their highlights. You're not reading about the sleepless nights, and maybe you are, but you're reading that because it's leading to something. You're not reading about the tears or the failures, and maybe a few people will do that. You're not reading about the disappointments. Maybe it's a strategy. The prayers that haven't been answered yet, you're not reading about that. We compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. And this is not a fair, it's never a fair comparison.
Right. That is so true. Like step on your toes, true, right? So I've had people tell me so many times, Laura, you're always so positive. And yeah, thank you. But they didn't see me when I was crying in my bed sheets, walking through losing my husband of 20 years, my kid's dad. They didn't see the grief. They didn't see the rebuilding. They didn't see the uncertainty that I had during that time. They didn't see the nights that, I was crying out to God. They see today's chapter. And I'll admit, today's chapter is very good. I'm very happy with my life. But not all the chapters that it took to get me here were all mountaintops, right? There's lots of valleys through there. And that's the same truth for everybody.
Yes. Let's think about celebrating instead of comparing, because people will be comparing themselves to what they see to you right now. And to your point, one of the greatest shifts we can make is this: instead of asking, like, why do they have that? Ask, what can I learn from them? This changes everything, Lori.
I literally love that so much because that's it, because we should always be learning and we always can learn, right? Like Kathryn and I are always studying, reading, listening to podcasts, learning all the time, taking other training courses, even as we give our own, we're taking other people's, right? Because someone else's success is not proof that there's less available for you, because this is an abundant world, right? God never runs out of blessings. He doesn't have a limited supply. If I bless her, then I guess I can't bless her, right? No, that's not the way things work, right? You are unique, and there's only things that you can fulfill in this world.
Mhm.
And think about your assignment, right? Your life's assignment. Like one of the things I've learned over the years in business, especially Kathryn and I, with all our marketing and coaching that we do with all our clients, is if we spend all our energy trying to become someone else, then we're not becoming the person that we are supposed to be, right? Because our voice matters and our story matters and our experiences matter. The good ones and the not so good ones, right? All the hardships prepare you to help someone else.
Yeah, isn't that freeing, Lori? Just really gives me that sense. And you don't have to compete. You don't have to imitate. You simply have to be faithful. Faithful with your gifts, faithful with your opportunities, faithful with your season.
Yeah, because when you have gratitude, especially when you write in your gratitude girls journal, right? That gratitude helps change your perspective, because gratitude and comparison cannot grow together. They're like magnets, right? One always pushes the other out. If I'm grateful, then I'm not focused on what I don't have. Because guess what? There's still lots of things that I want, right? We should always be wanting, hoping, dreaming, having more goals, always. But I focus on what I have. I focus on my family. I focus on the opportunities around me. I focus on the people that I have in my life. I focus on the lessons that God's taught me over the years, even the difficult ones that I didn't like, maybe, right? But they still made me stronger.
Laurie, sometimes the greatest blessing isn't receiving something brand new. It might be fun, it might be nice, getting a gift, going and saving, and then going and purchasing something. It's finally realizing that you've already, what you've already been given, instead of focusing on what you're going to get. So, how often do you wish and hope and pray for something and receive it and then forget to celebrate it? Gratitude keeps our hearts tender.
Right, exactly. And, and not to get too churchy, but one of my favorite verses is let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another or envying one another, right? We shouldn't envy other people. We can be happy for them, be joyous for them. One of the things Kathryn and I love to do with each other is send each other pictures of things when we get new things, whether our husband buys us something new or we earn something new, win something new, whatever it is, right? Like both of us, I know we can't wait to send it to each other. A lot of times we don't post those things on social media for exactly this of what we're talking about, right? But think about it. I want to ask you a question like, who are you comparing yourself to? Like, not out loud, but just answer it in your own heart, right? Maybe it's another mom that you think is doing better than you. Maybe it's another business owner. Maybe it's another ministry leader. Maybe it's another friend. I remember many years ago, um, there was a family that posted a bunch of pictures on social media, and I was just like, oh, I wish all my family could be together like that all at once. And at the time, that wasn't possible. Several lived in different states, different things going on as kids get older and things. And, but the same thing. It's not that I was looking in comparison, but I still, noticed, right? But what blessing in your own life have you stopped noticing because you looked somewhere else? Think about that.
Yes, and you sort of took your eye off the positive when you were looking at what somebody else had, right? And that's what that does. That's how comparison is the thief of gratitude. Let's talk about a challenge. I really like challenges, and we know that. I really like to have a reason to and a purpose and a beginning and a middle and an end. And I like that because I like the structure. But aside from that, I like that because it gets me thinking. So here's a gratitude girls challenge for the week, if I may use that word. Every time you catch yourself, so be aware, listen to yourself so that you can catch yourself. Every time you catch yourself comparing, pause. Simple. Instead of thinking about what someone else has, write down in your gratitude girls journal if you'd like. I knew Laurie was going to have that right there. Write down 3 blessings in your life, not generic ones, specific. Watch how your perspective changes.
Yes. And I want to just add a little twist to that, right? Because that's always fun. So find someone that maybe you have looked up to, but find someone who's succeeding. Maybe it's, in something similar of whatever you do. And literally, genuinely encourage them.
Mhm.
Leave them a kind comment, send them a message, help celebrate their wins. Because you would be amazed at how much joy actually comes from cheering someone else on instead of competing with them or kind of side eye looking at them.
Send them a card. Laurie, comparison drains joy. You turn the tap and joy goes right out. Gratitude restores it. Think of it as rebuilding.
Exactly, and you were not created to copy someone else's calling, right? You're created to faithfully live your own life, your own dreams, your own goals. So the moment you stop measuring your life against everyone else's, you'll begin to see really how blessed you are, right?
Laurie, I'm thinking about something that you said. If we focus and we're driving and we say, I'm not going to make the lights, I'm not going to be there on time, I'm not going to get that parking spot, that's what's going to happen. If we say, I will get there and enjoy myself, that's what we will focus on. So perhaps in closing tonight, along with our grateful heart, if we have a tendency to look at that glass half full, perhaps tonight will be a good night to change your mind on that and look at it as, if we look at it as half empty, we can look at it as half full. So think about this. By choosing, making a conscious effort on gratitude, keep choosing gratitude, because a grateful heart, it changes everything. We can tell you stories for years about this, and we'd love to hear yours. How can people do that with us, Laurie?
Yes, absolutely. If this encouraged you, of course, we would love for you to like, share, subscribe. Help us to continue spreading gratitude, encouragement, and hope. Share us in your stories, comment, share it with a friend, but always keep choosing gratitude and see all of our episodes at gratitudegirls.com.
Thank you. And because I'm sitting here on a Mac tonight, I can give you some extra hearts to go with your beautiful outfit that you're wearing. So thank you to everyone for being here tonight.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.